Hey, good morning everybody. How you doing? It's Brian from BMAD Photo. I was out about a week ago talking about the V350 and doing macro with it with the 90mm macro on the Olympus. It's powerful enough to, freeze any action, just like a bigger flash. It's rechargeable. TTL works great with the Olympus cameras, and I discovered something new today that I'm really excited to share with you. When you go into the settings for stacking and bracketing on the Olympus, so when you're in the menu setting up bracketing, there is an option called charge time. And what the charge time is it basically needs to delay between each shot to make sure that the flash is ready. If you have an Olympus flash, you don't have to worry about setting a manual charge time. The camera will sync and wait for the flash to be ready to take the next shot. So it'll go as fast as it possibly can. Most third-party flashes do not support that, but what I discovered is Godox, not only does TTL work awesome with the camera, but you can also set a 0-second charge time, and just like an OEM Olympus or OM system flash, the Godox will also properly wait to be recharged before taking the shot. So what I realized is when I'm doing focus stacking, I don't have to manually set a delay. Last time I tried this, I was setting it to 0.2 and 0.5. What I realized is I can set it to 0 seconds, allow the camera to basically know when the flash is ready to fire. It's now firing more rapidly between shots, not missing any frames with the flash, and it just goes as fast as it can. And with this V350, it is fast. So I'm so excited to show this to you. Woke up this morning and found lots of mushrooms throughout the yard. So these actually might be a day or two old, but a lot of new mushrooms throughout the yard. I'm going to do some in-camera focus stacking with the V350, and we'll see just how fast this thing is able to take the shots without having to set a manual charge time. One other cool thing I want to share. Last time I was using the big angler diffuser. The V350, it comes with, one of these cup style diffusers. It doesn't really do much, but I do just kind of keep it on there to help maybe, soften the light a little bit, but it's definitely not sufficient on its own. But when I bought the V350, it came with this thing. I never tried it, but I just said, you know what, let me just see if this thing actually works to diffuse the light. I mean, obviously it'll diffuse the light, but I didn't know if it would be large enough to avoid, hot spots or anything else. But this thing is super light, and it just flips on. So if this will work, I mean, this is, you can just keep this on the flash or whatever, and it's easy to carry around. So I'm going to kind of angle it to the front of the flash, make sure it's spread out. I have the black part on top, so all the light will be reflected down. I'm going to angle it up just a little bit, so it's like that. And, I'm not expecting much from this. It's still no AK diffuser, but it's, it's like a small little softbox. Let's see how this does. It's an interesting material. I think it might diffuse the light enough without giving us too many hot spots. And we're going to try some TTL flash, 1:1 and 2:1 macro on the 90mm macro, in-camera focus stacking, and we'll see how fast it can recycle the flash and hopefully not miss any flash frames. While you're here, please subscribe if you enjoy this and want to see more videos in the future. I have a lot more macro content coming. Right off the side of the grass where the mulch is, underneath some flowers and bushes here, is this little mushroom kingdom that sprouted up last night. And these are some pretty big mushrooms. So I'm just going to keep it at 1:1 macro. Don't need to do 2:1 macro here. And first thing I'll do is I just kind of clean up some of these stray grass that's kind of coming up. It needs to be pulled out of the mulch anyways. And now I have the camera in manual mode. Charge time have set to 0 seconds. I'm going to try using this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade the mushrooms as much as I can with myself, so we're only getting flashlight. Oh, and that looks great. One thing I should mention about the flash recharge time is it does depend, of course, how much power is coming out of the flash. So in TTL, I don't know offhand exactly how much flash power I'm putting out, but when I'm close to a subject, it doesn't need as much flash power to illuminate the subject, so the recycle time is much quicker. I have a really small composition of the mushrooms that have light coming on them pretty evenly, and I am not going to need the flash. I'm getting great exposure with it, even at f18 and f20. Here are the two mushroom subjects that I'm going to be shooting, and you can see that they have really nice light on them, and also there's some nice foliage coming up around them. A little bit of shadow on top of the larger mushroom there, and down below even the stems are highlighted, you can see here, with a little bit of light on them. So I think this is going to make for a nice image without even using the flash if I can get the exposure right. The first thing I'll do is I will kind of come in here and just clean up the scene a little bit. I like this little I don't know, clover, if you can see it. So I do want to also have that in the image if I can, but maybe just remove some of this just clutter. And I think that's looking nice. Please click like. It helps out and it helps other people find these videos. And let me know in the comments what you think of this. I'm actually really impressed with how well this little flash diffuser worked. Not seeing a lot of hot spots, but what do you think? Let me know. So this was really fun, both with and without the flash. I really enjoyed doing some macro photography here, just in this tiny spot in my backyard. Probably about 3 square foot area. I've discovered mushrooms, insects, some nice leaves, dandelion, seed heads, and these white looking bluebell things. All just really great macro subjects, and really fun playing with the stacking. So the in-camera stacking I had set anywhere from 3 to 5 differential. I was playing with it. They all seem to be getting good coverage. So between 3 and 5, it didn't really seem to make too much of a difference whether I was at 2-to-1 macro or 1-to-1 macro. When I would go up to like 5, it would give a little bit more, range from front to back. So when I was wanting to get like, more of the larger mushrooms in focus, being closer to 5 on the differential was better. But when I was doing the little white looking bluebell things, I would put it down to 3, and that was giving me enough to just get the tiny, width of sometimes 2 or 3 of the flower heads in focus, leaving a little bit more blurred out. So let's go check out some of these images, and thank you for joining me. I will play the images now, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.